Hello and welcome to fairbutfirm.com. My name is Joe Cortez, former international boxing referee. Well, this past weekend from Texas, we had great fights, as expected. Mikey Garcia, undefeated featherweight champion from California, fought against Rocky Martinez. Rocky Martinez from Puerto Rico was the only Puerto Rican champion to this date, until Saturday night when Garcia dropped him with a body blow and stopped him. Those body blows are the most devastating punches any fighter can receive. If you ever got hit with a shot to the stomach and lost your win, let me tell you, in boxing, when you get hit to the liver, a shot, that's the worst punch you can get. I'd rather take a shot in the chin, any place other than in the liver. One time my brother hit me with a body shot training in the gym. It was the worst feeling I ever felt in my whole career. But Rocky Martinez, had a game plan, but didn't work out for him like that. He was not at the level of Mikey Garcia. He dropped Mikey Garcia at the end of the second round with 15 seconds to go. But in the 8th round, with Mikey Garcia hit him with a liver shot, Rocky Martinez went down, and it was lights out for him. The referee, Roberts Cole, counted him out. And Rocky Martinez, again, like I said, now there is no champion out of Puerto Rico. They have to step up a little bit and see where they can go back and develop other talent. And hopefully Rocky Martinez learned a lesson from that fight, and maybe he'll come back. But he's young and has the potential to be champion once again. But as long as Mikey Garcia is there, he's going to have a tough time, because Mikey Garcia is pound for pound one of the best fighters in boxing today. On the undercard, you had Donito Donaire, who was fighting against Vic Darchinyan. Vic Darchinyan got stopped by Donaire about 6 years ago. And Vic Darchinyan been begging for a rematch. Well, he got his rematch, and you know what? It was a repeat of the first time. The other thing is that Donito Donaire, it was a back and forth type of a fight. When I see a fighter who's right-handed and is fighting a southpaw, you don't walk to your right. You should be going to your left. And all night long, Donaire kept walking to his right and was getting hit with a devastating shot from Darchinyan. And Darchinyan, let me tell you, he's a puncher. I mean, after the fight, days later, the next day or so, they discovered that Donaire had a broken cheekbone. So, it goes to show that Vic Darchinyan is a good puncher. Donaire took his power punches and did the right thing and weathered the storm and got lucky in the 8th round. Hit Darchinyan with some punches, dropped him. Darchinyan gets up, and Donaire stayed on top of him. And the referee, again, Lawrence Cole, stopped the contest, and rightfully so, because Darchinyan was really helpless at the time the fight was stopped. And we don't want any any more tragedies in boxing. We have plenty of that. The last couple of weeks, we'll talk about that in a minute or so. Then on the first fight on the undercard was Demetrius Andrade, who went down for the first time in his career. He won a split decision over Vanis Matamosin, and it was a good fight. And Demetrius Andrade shows that he has qualities and he has the tools to become a champion one day. But let's see. That's a good beginning for Demetrius Andrade. And, boxing is a tough sport, like I said before, and we're going back now. We're talking about last week's heavyweight fight in New York, where Magomed Abdusalamov lost a decision to Mike, the Cuban, Mike Perez, and he's still in a coma, Mago is. And it is sorry to see that, because in boxing, we need some changes, and some changes that I think should be implemented. We want these fighters, to come back another day, but I think we have to say, what can we do to improve the sport of boxing as far as safety measures are concerned? Well, one thing I can tell you right now, and I've been saying it for a while, and I'm going to really push for it, because I have a mission. I retired as a referee, but my mission in boxing is still for the betterment of the sport, is safety. And I will continue on my mission until it's fulfilled. That I want to see these. I want to see commissioners. I want to see sanctioning bodies. step up to the plate and listen. When a referee is working a fight, the main thing, two things he has to do most importantly. First is safety, and second is enforcing the rules. But why does a referee have to pick up the scorecard from the judges and give it to the commission table? Let somebody else take care of that. Let one of the inspectors pick up the scorecard. This way the referee has more time that he can dedicate for the fighter. Let's say towards the end of the round, the fighter got hurt. He's wobbly. He's walking back to his corner. Should the referee pick up the scorecard, or should the referee attend to the fighter? Okay? So let somebody else take care of picking up the scorecard, and let's take care of the fighter. Call in the ringside doctor, evaluate the condition of the fighter, and then we take it from there. Another thing I say is, if the doctor is examining the fighter, you hear the 10-second warning, the doctor's going to run out of there? No. Extend the 1-minute rest period. Safety first. Extend it. If it's got to be a minute 30 or whatever, extend it. So this way, the doctor and the referee can do a more extensive evaluation of the fighter in the corner. Okay? And the other thing that I want to implement in boxing is having an interpreter in the corner. Somebody has to be able to communicate with the doctor and with the referee in case a fighter is hurt. You know, most fighters today, I would say 70 to 80% are Hispanics. So you should have somebody to interpret for the Hispanic fighter if he cannot communicate, because if a doctor comes in and the referee, how you feeling? And the fighter doesn't know what he's saying, you know, he won't respond. And it can be twofold. It can help the referee, but if the fighter doesn't know what the doctor is asking him, you know, he may say no. The doctor may be asking, "Are you okay?" He may be saying no, but he probably meant to say, "I thought you were saying, do you want me to stop the fight?" And I said no. So you have an interpreter. It can save the fighter from living, going through a normal life where he can, you know, you don't want fighters taking unnecessary punishment. So I say, make sure you have somebody in there he can communicate with, interpret with. The doctor and the referee are better informed. This way we either stop it or we let it continue. Whatever is the right call, let it be right, because now we have an interpreter in the corner. So those are the kind of things that I say we're going to be talking about more on a regular basis. And hopefully for the betterment of the sport, we can make things better. I always said, you know, I might retire as a referee, but now I look at things a little different. Things I wanted to implement back when I was active. But you know what? Now that I'm sitting back a little bit, I have more time to think about how to raise the bar. It's always room for improvement. I don't care what you do. In any walk of life, any kind of work you do, anything, there's always room for improvement. So I think if we implement that, we have the referee now picking up the scorecard, extend the time for the doctor, and have an interpreter in the corner. Those are three things that we can start off with right off the bat. If you guys have any other ideas, anything good, and of course, you know, we talked about positioning of the judges, but we're talking about safety measures right now. Changing the judges from the standard position at ground level, raising them up, that's another topic. We'll talk about that later on. Now next week, November 16th, we have Andrew Ward versus Edwin Rodriguez. That fight will take place in Ontario, California, and that'll be a great fight. Andrew Ward has been inactive for a while, and he's going up against a tough fighter, Edwin Rodriguez. So let's see what happens this coming weekend, November 16th. And again, the following week, we have Manny Pacquiao against Brandon Real, and that fight is coming up in Macau, China. That should be a very interesting fight. It's not going to be on a pay-per-view. And I can tell you one thing. Pacquiao's got to show something in this fight, because if he loses or looks bad in any way, it'll be, you know, lights out for Pacquiao. And of course, you know, the Philippines, our heart goes out to you for the storm we had, the typhoon that you had recently, last 5 days ago. Our prayers and our hearts go out to you, and all you individuals out there like myself are looking forward to helping out any way we can to make sure that we get a speedy recovery for our brothers and sisters in the Philippines. God bless you. Guys, talk to you next week.